Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this video is the part 2 of the Key Stage 2 Year 6 SATs video that I'm making on the assessments that are taking place in the next couple of weeks. The first video is on the channel already, which covers the grammar and reading paper, and this one will focus on the maths papers and then other resources that you can use to help you. So I hope you find it useful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit a like on the video so that it really supports the channel and helps us out here. All right, let's get into it. Thanks a lot. Okay, hi guys, welcome back. So this is part 2 of the Year 6 SATs video in preparation for the SATs, which will be taking place in May. In the first part 1, if you missed that, it's on the YouTube channel. Check it out. I cover the reading paper and the grammar paper. And this one, I'm going to be talking about the maths and some other tips that you can use to help your child prepare for SATs week, and including some different resources and websites. But I'll begin by talking about the maths. So the maths is split up into 3 papers, the first being the arithmetic paper. And this will take place on Wednesday, the 11th of May. Okay, after they've already done 2 days of testing. This will be the first maths paper. Okay, it is a time test. They'll have 30 minutes in which to complete it. And it's worth a total of 40 marks, with some questions being worth more than 1 mark, being worth 2 marks. This is the easier of the 3 maths papers, and it covers mainly the 4 operations, including division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, mixed operation calculations, which would be BOD maths or BID maths, where they have to do them in certain order, brackets being first, then indices, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, as well as number properties, place value questions, percentages of amounts, decimal questions, and quite a significant amount of fraction questions. Now, this paper, the children will have learned methods on how to solve the questions, and you want them to score as high as possible in this arithmetic paper. We always say to parents that this is the one that you can really help your child with because it's the easier of the 3, and once they know how to answer the questions, they can score high. For other tips on why scoring high in this paper is really useful for your child passing their maths SATs, please check out the other video, which I will put in a link in the description for on our channel, which explains this in more detail about why it's important to score high on this first paper. Okay, there's an example question. So it's a long division question, one of the trickier questions, 3016 divided by 13. But let's take a quick look now at the paper and what it looks like when the children will be giving it. It's going to look like this. It's going to be boxes for them to answer questions. They must write the answer in the box. Sometimes if they don't do this, they won't be given a mark. And there's also a place for them to work out their answers. Once they have had a go at doing these, they'll go through each question. And it's important for them to show they're working because if I just scroll down, you'll be able to see, and we get to a 2-mark question. There aren't many of them on this paper, but they do have a few. If they show their method, but they get the answer wrong, they can still get a mark. So it's important for them to show they're working out. And also, within doing their working out, it helps to see if they've made any calculation errors. So here you can see the types of questions they've been asked. Addition, subtraction, division, multiplying and dividing by 10, 100, 1,000, really important. I usually ask the children to draw a grid and move the numbers. There is a video on the channel which does a walkthrough of this whole paper, so check it out. Questions asking them to cube numbers, so 3 to the power of 3 to the power of 3. Percentage of amounts questions, subtracting decimals from whole numbers, mixed number fraction questions, very tricky. All right, these questions are very hard for them to, but once they know the method, they can do it. Adding mixed different denominators, fractions, questions here. And then they get harder, progressively harder as you go through the paper, with the final questions being the most difficult. So you've got fractions of amounts, multiplying fractions and whole numbers, and and the final question being quite a tricky long division question. So that's what it looks like. And you want them to aim to get as many marks as possible. The best thing to do is to aim between in the high 30s. So anything above 30 is great, but if you can get them towards the 35 mark in this paper, it gives them a great chance of passing overall. So that's paper 1. And paper 2 will also take place on Wednesday, the 11th of May. It's the only day they do 2 papers, 2 long papers anyway. And this is the first of the reasoning papers. Trickier than the first arithmetic paper. It requires the children to demonstrate their mathematical understanding, knowledge, and skills, as well as their ability to solve problems and reason problems. And again, just like with the arithmetic paper, the questions get harder as you move through, with the more difficult questions being towards the end. The reasoning papers also cover a variety of different topics, such as shape, coordinates, data handling, bar charts, line graphs, pie charts. So it does cover a variety of different areas. Let's take a quick look now at the reasoning paper, the first reasoning paper. The paper's out of 35 marks, this one, and they have slightly longer to complete. It's a 40-minute test. Okay, it is timed. And here you can see the style of question. So this is just a simple times table question, but the way they presented it to the children can make it tricky. So recently, children did it in my class. They did 4 8s are 32, 3 7s are 21, but they forgot to write an answer in this one and go down and do 4 3s are 12, and therefore missed out on the mark. So you can see just by the variety of the way that he asked the children questions where the children might make mistakes. A simple place value question, but written in words. Again, a place value question, ordering numbers, but again, the variety is different. They have to draw lines here. The largest one to the smallest. Okay, so the largest one being 1,230,650. So they would draw a line to there. Here you've got a symmetry question. Okay, not a difficult question, but if the children haven't covered it or they've not seen it before, they can easily make a mistake with this or not understand how to do it. They will be provided a mirror in the test. So in the reasoning papers, they're provided with a mirror and a protractor to help them with the different questions that come up. Again, this is a multiply and divide by 100 question, but just looks slightly different. Measurement, capacity, how many litres are recorded in here. So you can really see the variety of different questions that the children are asked to do. This is the first number problem question, multi-step, where they've been asked to do a few different things. Jack chose a number, he multiplied the number by 7, then he adds 85, his answer was 953. So working backwards, can they get to the number that Jack started with, subtracting this 85, and then dividing that number by 7 would give them that number at the beginning. But you can see there's more than one step involved there. So that's the first reasoning paper. This is a question that they would be required to use their protractor for by measuring accurately this angle of 35 degrees and then drawing the shape to scale underneath. The line of 8 centimeters has already been drawn for them. So yeah, you can see the variety of different questions. Now, interestingly, if they score high on that first paper, they get about 35 marks. They'll only really need about 12 marks from the other 2 reasoning papers. But for some children, even that is a difficulty because of the variety of different questions. The second reasoning paper will take place on Thursday, the 12th of May, 2022. And again, it will be our 40-minute test, and it'd be worth 35 marks for that one as well. And again, they'll be given a protractor and a mirror for that one. So let's have a quick look at that third reasoning paper then. I'll say that all these papers are available online. Okay, just type into Google SATS tests and look for, there's lots of websites that do them, but you can just get it on the government website as well. So the third reasoning paper will look like this, similar to the second one. And again, it just presents it in slightly different ways. This is a simple subtraction question. Subtract 8,999 to take away 1,100, and then they have to write the answer in the box. But just the way the question is presented and the way it's structured, some children find that a challenge. Place value again, rounding, okay, that's come up here. Algebra, so a tricky one. Tricky in the sense that if they've not seen it before, it would be hard, but essentially Dev says, I had £10, I gave some money away. Which expression shows how much money Dev has left? So it's starting with 10, all right, and he gave away some money, which would be A. So 10 subtract A. But again, if they've never seen algebra before, it would be hard for them to understand that. Mass, weight, ordering amounts of weight, okay. The first word problem, two-step, okay, because you're adding these two parts together and subtracting from £10. Here we've got grouping, grouping activity, another word problem, and the first coordinates question. All right, coordinates is a simple concept, you know. I teach my kids along the corridor and up the stairs. However, if they've not seen it before or they've seen it only once or twice and forgotten, then yeah, they wouldn't get this question right. But it says Lara plots another point in the grid at -1, 2, so the point will be here. And then you join the lines together to make a quadrilateral. Now, the confusing part for children about this question, though, is that they will automatically think, well, that's not a quadrilateral. It looks more like a triangle. However, they need to know that a quadrilateral just means a four-sided shape. So even if it doesn't look like a square or rectangle, it can still be a quadrilateral. Factors, primes, and numbers. Another word problem. Another word problem. And you can see they get more and more of these word problems as you go throughout. Algebra. Fractions. Equivalent fractions. So yeah, this paper is significantly more difficult than the arithmetic paper. But again, if they get high in the other paper, if they get a 35 mark, they will only need around 12 in those other two papers. So going back to this then, they have the three papers over a course of 2 days, one arithmetic and two reasoning papers, all timed, the arithmetic being the shorter of the three. Preparing for SATs then, it's going to be in that week. It's going to be over those 4 days, and the Friday is no tests at all. Inquire within your school. Some schools open early on this week to provide children with breakfast in the mornings, get them settled and ready for their first test, which will be around 9:15. So inquire to see if there's an early start to the day. Get a little bit of breakfast will help the children's brains to function more effectively. Preparing for SATs, things you can do at home. If you have any questions or concerns, do speak to your class teacher, your child's class teacher, and they can direct you to ways that you can help. Ask them how they're doing with their current SATs. They will have done some mocks recently. Don't forget to not overwhelm your child with revision. Plan something nice and fun for the weekends before and after SATs so they have something to aim for. You know, we're going to have to work hard for these next 3 weeks, but we can look forward to these things afterwards as a motivating factor. And ensure your child is eating and drinking well and getting a suitable amount of sleep. You will be surprised at how that affects their performance, lack of sleep or poor diet around that time. So make sure that they are just feeling generally well and you're looking after their well-being. Other things, if you want to do a weekly revision, okay, a timetable might be useful to structure it for them. And it's best to do short bursts, 10 to 20 minute activities work best rather than long periods of study. Small chunks of work throughout the day with lots of breaks in between help. Research has proven to help the children's memory best. There are revision guides out there. Obviously, CGP do great ones that explain the different concepts. And there's workbooks out there as well for maths, grammar, punctuation, spelling, and reading. Useful websites. So if you want to pause the video here and take a quick shot of these, this first one's a great one. My Mini Maths, I've talked about it in another video. Great for learning arithmetic. There's different questions you can do on there. Really useful YouTube clips on how to answer each question. On the CGP website, you can find free online 10-minute tests that your child can do as those short bursts. CorbetMaths.com, you'll find some revision practice on there. BBC Bite Size, obviously, look on there for the Key Stage 2 maths activities. Math Skills Revision, there's another website, uk.ixl.com, and then follow the links from Maths Year 6, and you'll find some sample questions covering the Year 6 curriculum. Top Marks has games on there for them to practice their times tables and mental maths to make sure they're refreshing those and being quick about it. Grammar, the uk.ixl website has a grammar section as well. And just, sorry, this is covering that, but that's the English. BBC Bite Size also has grammar activities on there. Also inquire within your schools because they might have subscriptions to different websites that can help. SATS Companion is another good one I know they use in schools. So yeah, just ask about in school as well for any useful websites that you could use. So just to recap then, this is the SATS week, which will begin in May. Okay, starting on Monday the 9th of May and ending on Thursday the 12th of May. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you found it useful. I will leave a link in the description to other useful videos. And check out this video as well, which is all about the maths and how you can really help your child by improving their arithmetic and helping them to pass overall. Please subscribe for more useful videos on primary education, particularly around this important time. Thank you so much if you've already subscribed. It really supports the channel. And hit a like, because that also goes a long way to supporting the channel. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.